This time of year is more important than ever to scout corn and soybean fields. Matt Hutcheson with Seed Consultants explains why.
Gray leaf spot has especially been a problem in many areas. We have seen some northern corn leaf blight as well. And there are a lot of people that have ended up spraying a fungicide this year to protect their corn crop from those diseases.
Also seeing some deficiency of nitrogen. Why is that and how prevalent is it this year?
In areas where we had nitrogen on early or we had heavy rains after nitrogen was applied, so that's going to be leached from the soil, broken down and lost. So we're seeing some nitrogen deficiency in corn. That's typically what you'll see is a yellowing on the tip of the leaf. That's a V shape that works its way back towards the plant, the stalk. But that's this year we're seeing that in a lot of areas because of the rain, the saturated soils, and the loss of nitrogen as a result of that.
You plucked a couple of ears of corn out of this field, and as far as pollination goes, pretty picture perfect.
Yeah, things look good here right now. It has been a little dry, but as far as the corn crop in its current state, it looks really good. I'm not seeing any pollination issues. Ears are anywhere from 16 to 20 kernel rows, depending on the hybrid, but looks like there's still really good potential here, and we continue to get rains this growing season. There should be a really good crop here.
On the soybean side of things, again, we talk about disease pressure with the wet and hot weather early on, but some insect pressure as well. What are some of the things we're looking for and some of the thresholds as far as the soybeans are concerned this time of year?
So this time of year, in this particular area, this field we're looking at today, we're not seeing a lot of problems. There's some feeding from Japanese beetle, which we have seen this year across the state. It's not heavy enough here to warrant any kind of application of insecticides. Another thing to keep in mind, although we're not seeing it here, other diseases or problems can show up like soybean cyst nematode or sudden death. There are some reports of frog eye in certain areas. Again, we're not seeing that in this field here, but it's a good time to walk your fields and see what's going on out there, whether it's a management decision you need to make this year or maybe a different varietal selection for next year or relieving compaction. It's just a good time to walk the fields, dig up some plants, take a look at what's going on in your field so you know in terms of harvest what you can expect and what you need to do in the next year or two.
I know that it's just July, but it could be a good time to start thinking about 2019 and figure out a game plan depending on what you might be seeing in the fields this year to make next year a little bit more successful.
That's right. With the disease pressure we've had, although you wouldn't hope for a disease and perfect weather conditions for that development of the disease, it is a good time to walk plots or walk your field, assess what diseases are out there. We pulled some leaf samples today where one hybrid at the ear leaf, there's hardly any gray leaf spot lesions. Another hybrid, there's more moderate pressure. So that gives you an idea of what kind of tolerance to disease hybrids have. And in the future, you can plant hybrids with better tolerance, and then you may be able to get away with not having to spray a fungicide if you have disease pressure in the future.